I have come to fall in love with Genesis 1 to 11. I found it incredibly helpful using these lenses, that it's ancient Mediterranean Messianic wisdom literature. And I found an incredible hope in these chapters. Because of the distinct Babylonian and Mesopotamian influence in these 11 chapters as distinct from later chapters in the Hebrew Bible, scholars believe that it was probably finalised during the oppressive exile of the kingdom of Judah in Babylon. And we see shared similarities of stories, of creation stories, of garden narratives, of genealogies, of flood narratives, even founding narratives of empires. And we also see direct critiques in the Hebrew Bible, particularly culminating in that Tower of Babel narrative. Within it all, we see that there is a minority of prophets speaking to the people. This is why you're in exile. Adam, you left the garden. Israel, you left relationship with God. But there is a messianic hope for all people desperate everywhere, not just in the Babylonian exile where they are crushed and oppressed and far from their land, but also for anyone who is experiencing that in their life. There is a messianic hope that in Genesis 1, there is one to come who will rule with God's wisdom. In Genesis 2 and 3, although his heel will be bitten by the snake of the old human condition, he will crush that death that has entered in, and he will come through the chaos waters of death and inaugurate a new creation. And all the way along, he will be laid down, and a new humanity will come at his side to partner with him in inaugurating new creation, both here and in the future. There is such a messianic hope in Genesis 1 to 11, in the midst of highly oppressive, the fiery trial for the original authors and those editors of the Babylonian exile. And for us today, it is wisdom. It is wisdom that whatever situation we find us in, those chaos waters of death will not have the final word. We will go through the waters with him who is able to bring us waters out into a new creation, out into a new hope. And the invitation is simple. We are invited to walk with God, as Adam and Eve were invited to in Eden, as we saw Enoch does in the genealogy, as Noah and his wife are mandated to after the flood subside. We are invited again to walk with God. We're invited to trust him, to grow in intimacy with him, to rule in his wisdom in such a way that everything and everyone flourishes under our care.